Hello, hello.
What up, though? What up, though? We're back again. Blaze the Soul podcast. Here to give you guys a little bit of information, have a little fun, bring a little togetherness, and discuss what's a hot topic of current events. This week we do have another special guest, a minority business owner, someone considered a role model in the community. But first, I would like to take a few seconds, I guess, to give a couple of takes on things that's going on right now. And first, I want to say everyone vote. No matter if you're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, whoever you're voting for, that's not what I'm advocating right now. What I'm advocating is to make your voice be heard and vote. People say that voting right now it doesn't really do anything, and both candidates have their flaws. This is very true, but one candidate has to, I guess, pique your interest, or you have a little bit more faith in. So whoever that is, put forth the effort, go out and vote.
Definitely.
Other than that, we'd also like to say, I don't know if happy is a good term, but be mindful of breast cancer awareness month. It is coming to an end, but that doesn't mean that your support has to end after the actual month has ended. So give a shout out to those who are going through that, particular struggle personally, or they know someone that's going through that struggle, or even if you don't know anybody, just for your fellow man, your fellow brethren, you want to extend best wishes. You want to do what you can do to help, and you want to get the word out.
Definitely. And we will have my sister-in-law next week, Wednesday. Make sure you tune in live right here, same time, same place. My sister-in-law, Nana, with Cooking with Nana. She will be here to share her journey with cancer. She's not only once, but twice had beat cancer. So to take you guys down her journey and share with that, hopefully it'll be an inspiration to those who are listening that may be going through with breast cancer, anything to that nature. So, but without further ado, I would love to introduce you to Monique Howery. She is the CEO of Moni's Soulfood Fiesta, which just opened up in Elgin, which we were super thankful for, because I think we used to drive far away just for some soul food around here. So my husband got addicted to her soul food, and that's how I had the pleasure of meeting Miss Moni, beautiful soul. She's going to walk us through her journey of how she landed right here in Elgin, Illinois, with her soul food restaurant and Fiesta, a little bit of Mexican with a little twist of Southern and Cajun food. So let's introduce you to Monique and let's hear from her. I'm going to bring her on right now. Hello.
What up?
How are you? Thank you for joining us today. I know that the restaurant business is super busy and you were able to take the time out to come and join us to the show today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about Miss Monique.
Wait. Before we do that, let me just say, because I've eaten your food many times, but this is the first time we are meeting.
Yes.
So first of all, I will say it's good to meet you. Mm-hmm. Second of all, I will say that, man, you are no joke, flat out. Your food is we got it on a humbug the first time. We bought a whole bunch of different stuff to try to taste some variety.
Yes.
And I think we've been back 7-8 times in a month's time. So congratulations to you. Kudos to you. You definitely have a flair for your particular profession. You do it well. And as long as I don't go broke, I'm going to continue to patronize your business, because it is very good. But I'm sorry. I just had to get that one out because this was our first meeting.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And had he not sent me there for the 7th time, I would not have had the pleasure of meeting an amazing woman like yourself.
But God.
Yes.
But God.
Yes.
Thank you for your cravings,
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, who is Moni?
Ooh, who is Monique? Well, I see myself as um, a very caring, laid back person. I love people. I am a people person. Um, well, I've had two children. I have one son now.
Mm,
As everyone knows, my daughter passed away in June,
Oh, I'm
but
so sorry to hear
I
that.
most definitely know she is still here with me in spirit. So
Definitely.
I'm very thankful. I'm a family oriented girl. I come from a huge family. I'm talking where grandparents had 10 kids,
wow.
their siblings had 10, 11, 12 children on both sides. So, yes, big family oriented girl. That's about it.
That's amazing.
Now, where do you get your cooking roots from?
I get my cooking roots from actually both sides of my family, my grandmother's side and my grandfather's side. But my grandfather was more of the barbecuer, and then my grandmother was, she did everything on the inside of the kitchen.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
And
she had
I have no idea how to cook, so I might sneak in your kitchen every once in a while. He laughs,
Oh man,
but
that's funny.
I could cook some really great Thai egg rolls. I think
Wow.
that is Lao egg
he
roll.
told me
Hey,
I
that.
think
He
that
told
is
me
the
that.
only thing I'm known for. That's
hey,
it.
that was very big of her to just come out and say just flat out, "Hey, I can't cook."
I can't cook
See, her
at
and
all.
her. I guess technically it's cousin, but they're like best friends. A young
Uh-huh.
lady by the name of Birdie. They usually help in preparing the meals that
And
we have
eat. And
when
eat.
everybody comes around. And I always kid with them because they have all Thai dishes. Where the mac and cheese? You know what I'm saying? Where
Right.
the black eyed peas? So
Right.
for her to come out and go ahead and admit that, hey, I can't even cook, that says a lot right there. I ain't gonna hold
Right.
you up.
So
She's truthful.
Monet, my poor husband being with me for the last decade, he's just had like Lao food whenever we have holiday parties and things like that, because we didn't have a soul food restaurant really in the area. So now
Hey,
we could celebrate holiday with Blasian food.
hey, they used to buy Popeye's chicken and put it to the side and be like, hey, if you don't like what we got here, we got some of this over here. I was like, I don't even know how to take that.
Wow.
I don't even know,
Wow.
you know what I'm saying, how I should take that.
Oh boy.
Okay, so
Wow.
we know what your roots are.
Yes.
We know that you know what I'm saying, you have a background that precedes just someone basically learning how to cook, but you grew up cooking.
Mm-hmm.
So what inspired you to go ahead and break out on your own and start your own company?
Honestly, because I got tired of working for other folks.
Mm.
And
That's a great reason.
right. And plus, I figured everything that I was doing for them, it was basically preparing me to have my own. So I'm always going to give the credit to God first because it was
Absolutely.
nobody but Him who set everything up the way that He did for me by me being in retail management, by me being a director of food service. It was just, He was setting me up to get me to that point to say, well, enough is enough. Let me share my food with everybody else because I'm tired of working for other people, making them look good, and
Right.
then, not getting basically the credit for myself or giving credit where credit was due.
Right.
Absolutely.
No doubt. I always say work hard, but work hard for yourself. You know
So,
what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Absolutely.
So then you got that idea. Okay, you know what? I'm tired of
Mhm.
working for somebody else. I need to utilize what talents God gave me to be
Mhm.
successful.
Yes.
So what's your next step? Because that's a big step right there, leaving a good paying job that you've been at to
Yes.
go solo. That's a big step right there. So what was your next step? What was your next thought process? Were you a little scared? Were you like, you know what? I got this. It don't matter. What was your mindset at that time?
Honestly, my mindset at that time was whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
I just have to step out there on faith. When I was in DeKalb, I mean, I had already been doing like my catering services, for years. And as a little side hustle, doing dinners and selling them to the barber shops and to senior homes and all different places. It was just like, if I don't get out there now and do this, or at least try it for myself, I wouldn't be where I am now. So I am thankful that I did. But when I did it, I was a little nervous, but at the same time, I kept giving myself those pep talks. Girl, you got this. You got this. And,
No
no,
doubt.
I can't do it. No, you got this. You got this. You got this. So I did. I kind of went back and forth for a little bit. So when I initially truly started, I had a friend who had a tax office in DeKalb, and it was an old bakery that he was actually renting. So I
Oh,
did pop-up kitchens in DeKalb. I just did Tuesdays and Saturdays. So it started with me just making a flyer and telling people to come out. So when they would get their taxes done, we would offer them a dinner. And then, the smell was going to the offices next door, the store next door. So people would come out of the convenience store like, what y'all got going on over here? So
oh,
it was like, okay, this is Taco Tuesday, or this is Soul Food Saturday. And it just kept going and going and going. So then finally, it was a store opening up down the street. And the guy was looking, it had a kitchen in the back. And he was actually looking to have somebody come in and prepare food. So I talked to him first, and he asked, what would my salary be? So, I gave him my director of food service salary.
yeah.
There you go. No doubt. No doubt.
He was like, no. He's like, you're very good at what you do, but I don't think I'll be able to pay you.
Oh,
So I flipped it and said, well, why don't you let me rent this space from you?
nice.
And
There
he
you
was
go.
like, oh, okay. So I told him, you'll be making some money. I'll be making some money. I even told him, I said, I'll do a non-compete clause. I said, I won't sell beverages because it was a store. I wanted
Right.
to see him win as well, too.
Right.
Okay.
So that's when it just went from there.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. So then after that, you thought, you know what? Let me break out on my own. I'm making money, but I'm giving him money. So let me go ahead and make this on my own.
No, what actually
She
happened
liked it.
was, I actually would have stayed in that little spot for forever. I actually
Hmm.
had a good friend that came. I told him to come help me get organized with my books. And he was like, girl, do you know how much money you making? Now that's the truth. And I said, yes. He was like, you outgrew this space the first month you got in this space. He was like, you
Wow.
need to branch out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No doubt. No doubt.
That's awesome.
Now that you are a fresh business owner, hot off the press, and I own a marketing agency, so I can definitely empathize with just starting out, and you're doing well, but you want to do better, and thoughts like that go through your head. So after your first week or two, what were your initial thoughts with being a small business owner?
Where, in the cab or here?
No, here once you got your own.
Okay.
She had her own into kelp.
Right.
Cab.
No, I
Oh,
understand that. But that was kind of contracted out. This
Right.
is,
your own. Yeah.
my name on the front.
Yeah.
Tax ID. You're a legitimate business owner once you own your own retail space. So once you got your own space, what was your thought process as far as those first couple of weeks? Did you think, man, this is better than I thought, or things will get better? What was your initial response to being a business owner?
So my initial response was, I just want to grow this out. I just want to share my food. I just want to share my food.
So no matter if you have 5 or 10 clients,
That's
you want
right.
somebody to taste what you got.
Got it.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, that is always the end goal. I like to tell everybody, when I come into the restaurant, I pray each morning. And my prayer is that God, it doesn't matter if I get one customer or 5 customers, as long as they come and they see what I have to offer.
Right.
Because I know at the end of the day, word of mouth is everything,
Mhm.
and not only that, not just the word of mouth. I'm making this food with love. I'm making it from the bottom of my heart. I think I always tell Laura, sometimes everybody looks at color, but I don't want people to see color when they see me in my food. I just want them to see my food, know that it was made with love, and that it's something that they can bless somebody else with at the end of the day.
I agree, and I wholeheartedly agree. But at the same time, you're a beautiful black woman who is successful. So let that light shine. You know what I'm saying? Because you can be an inspiration to so much more that not, I mean, look, you have the, not only are you a woman, but you're a minority woman. You're
Yeah.
a minority woman who is a solo business owner. So all of that together is kind of the reason why we started the podcast, is to shed light, not to divulge from the story, but a close friend of ours had said that one of the reasons why black and minority cultures haven't grown is because we don't have enough role models. And I wholeheartedly disagree with that. We have new role models, not only as celebrities, but right here in our own community. And
Absolutely.
with the credentials you have, like I said before, being small business owner, a black woman, that is an inspiration to so many people who would want to go that route. So if there is someone out there who is thinking along the same lines that you thought, that I'm working 8 to 10 hours for somebody else. I want to go on my own path. If I want to lose, I'm gonna want to lose backing myself. If they're at that junction that they want to take that step forward, what advice would you give them? What would you tell them to push them over that edge to make them take that leap?
Man, I would say go for it. You would never know what you are worth or what you are truly worth until you try it. It really is just about stepping out there on faith. You know, you would never get anywhere if you don't step out there and at least get your feet wet. Or look at it this way: if you're doing it for somebody else, why not do it for self?
Right.
Exactly.
I agree. Very good advice. Very good advice. Um, it seems that religion or faith is a big part of the person that you are.
Oh,
So, can you
absolutely.
talk about how faith helped you in kind of taking that leap, and not only taking that leap, but being successful in that leap?
Okay. Um, well,
Because Southern food and religion, that's they go hand in hand. Ain't nothing like after church. You get to sit down in the basement, and the ladies of the church then cooked well, and everybody is fellowshipping and enjoying themselves.
right. Trying to see how to answer that. Well, I know
Well,
everybody.
you said you prayed every day when you walked through the
Right.
door. So without a doubt, that had to, if that was a part of your routine, then faith had to play a portion in it, because whether or not you had 1 or 5 customers, you're still given the glory. So it
At the
had to
end
be
of the day,
a part of your daily routine, or a part of your philosophy.
yes. So faith. The only way I said, let me see how to answer that question is because sometimes it's to each his own. It's just I know what God has brought me through. Um, when I say honestly, I can say I've been through hell and back. Everybody has a story, but I know by His grace, He has brought me through so much. I can say, my daughter passed. I could have stopped, I could have just buried myself in my room. I could have, stayed at home crying, but I didn't. But God, when I say, I heard Him say, complete what you started, you know, that gave me the encouragement to get back up. Because my daughter, before she passed, she was helping me do a catering order for Amazon. So I could have completely stopped. But when I say, but God, nothing but God has been covering me. Things are thrown at me left and right every day. But that's my optimism in Him, you know, because He may not come when we want Him to come, but He shows up, and He shows up every time on time. And what he does and how he works things out, we would never truly know. But as the song says, he works it for our greater good. And that is the truth. Because I had 2 locations in DeKalb, but he brought me here. He worked it out, like you said, for my good. That is my faith. I know what I've been through. I know what I've come through. But to come here and just have it be a totally different vibe, everybody, you know, the diverse crowds that are coming in, nobody complains. Dude, that's all a blessing, you know? And I don't know, Marcellus, but before you get me to preaching and crying, I'm just gonna say.
Hey, but that's what we're looking for. We're looking for real emotion. We tell people all the time that none of this is scripted.
No.
So we don't give you a list of questions. We don't necessarily talk about what we're going to say outside of who our guest speaker is, because we want this to be authentic. We want it to be original. So I love that emotion. You know, I that's what I want. As opposed to someone coming in here giving me generic, 60-second elevator pitches. I'd rather somebody be original and soul searching in their response. So without a doubt, I understand totally where you're coming from. Okay, so let's talk about this food. You know what I'm saying? We've discussed your background. We've discussed what motivates you. Now let's discuss this food. Tell me, what is your best-selling entree and best-selling side dish?
All of it.
Okay. All right. So you're saying everything is equally yoked, huh?
Everything.
You can't tell me you sell more catfish than chicken, because that both of them are good. We eat both of them, but we'll get a 20-piece of chicken in a minute.
And he'll eat it all.
But they both go hand in hand. And the chicken people say that about the fish people, and the fish people say
So
that about
yummy.
the chicken people. And then we got to add the jerk in there, because then I have my jerk wing people that come in here all day, and my jerk fish people that come in here all day, then the jerk burger people, then the regular burger people. That's why I said all of it, hands down.
Well, since you just ran through so much, some stuff I did not know that you sold. Why don't you give us a brief rundown? Now, we will have your menu on our various platforms. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Your menu will be up there. But give us a quick breakdown of your menu, because it sounds like you have more than just quote unquote soul food, that you have a kind of a variety of entrees and different things that you could taste.
Yes. So as I tell everybody, this is my rendition of soul food with a new flair, as you may say, because everybody loves jerk. So I have the jerk chicken. So it's my rendition. The jerk chicken tacos are off the grill, but I do a fried jerk chicken, which everybody is loving.
I never heard that before.
Yeah.
I never heard of that.
I do a jerk burger, which I actually created back in DeKalb. I seen some ground chuck, and I was like, everybody jerking everything, so let me infuse this burger with this jerk sauce. Taste, I had people test it out. It was a hit. So jerk burgers go a lot here, and I call it my everything under the kitchen sink burger, because it got a little bit of everything in there.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And then I have regular steak tacos and regular chicken tacos.
So you have Mexican food too.
Yeah.
He loves Mexican food.
Hey, you
too.
know, I ain't gonna fade you though. I ain't gonna fade you. I'm not trying anything except the soul food. The soul food is where I'm at. I mean, listen to me. I can eat, and she will attest to this. I can eat your food every day, and that's not a pitch. You're not paying us for this. This ain't, I'm in marketing, so I just want to get all this out the way. This ain't an ad. None of that good stuff here. This is a true testimonial that, given the opportunity, I would eat your food every day.
He
as far as
would.
soul food is
He'll
concerned.
probably freeze it and
Flat out.
and warm it up every day for lunch.
Oh, no doubt.
And you can do that too.
See?
Because I don't cook with all that fat back and stuff.
She doesn't. It's
And
all natural, natural juices.
I've been phasing pork and beef totally out my diet. So I just do poultry and fish. So, I mean, poultry and seafood, I'm sorry. So you come right in at a perfect time. Well, I always say that I throw a curveball to all our guests. A question that they weren't expecting, the audience wasn't expecting. So if right before the election was taking place, let's say November 2nd, and the election ends November 3rd, Biden walks into your restaurant, and a short time after that, Trump walks into your restaurant. They say that food changes the mood. They say food is good for the soul. So, what would be something that you would serve Biden? And what would be something, it doesn't have to be a whole meal, but something that they have to taste that you feel will help them in their pursuit? One for Biden and one for Trump. And you can't poison nobody.
I'm trying to. So I think I would give Biden the chicken. I give him the fried chicken meal.
All right. I see
And
that.
I give Trump the fish.
You would. Okay, now is there a distinction on why you would give them either?
Huh?
Is
Yes.
there a reason why you're making that choice?
Yes. One, because I think Biden think, he cool. He real laid back. He think
He like Bill Clinton. He think he black. He ain't, but he think he is though.
There you go. Yes. And then Trump the fish, because I can't see him eating nothing else.
I hear that.
I'll take the fish. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good choice. I can see him getting the fish as well. He got that snootiness about him a little bit. But he ain't gonna put his hands together for no chicken. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, sweetie.
No, I wasn't.
So tell people if they want to get this amazing food, where do they go?
Oh, they come right here to 13 Douglas Ave in Elgin, Illinois, 60120. Because we over here on this good old east side.
Now, can they call in an order? Can they place an order calling in first?
Yes, they actually can call in an order via the phone. That's bad. I don't know the phone number by heart, y'all.
No, we got to scroll in at the bottom.
But they can call 224-268-3197. And then also starting this Friday, because we're going back to phase 3, we will be doing curbside and delivery in-house.
Okay. And they can check you out online as well. I heard you got a funky, fresh new website from some marketing agency around here. I don't know who they are, but yeah. Okay. Okay. So once again, I'm going to say my closing remarks and then kind of give Pawn her time because y'all like best buds. Y'all like peanut butter and jelly. So I'm going to let y'all get y'all word in. But once again, if you have a word of advice for someone starting out, just starting their business, just taking that plunge, what would be something quickly that you would tell them?
Step out there on faith, and dedication is key too. So when you step out there, make sure you have that dedication and drive to back you.
And they need a work ethic like you got, because you got a work ethic like no other.
Yes.
I know a lot of people who I've talked to who've talked to me about our business. And they say, man, I'm glad, when you own your own business, you know what I'm saying, you can pick your hours. You ain't got to work so hard. And I'm quick to correct them, but that's exact opposite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta put in them 10, 12-hour shifts. So once you get established, then you can reel it back a little bit. But initially, you going 100 miles an hour.
Yes. And I get my work ethic from my mother. She just made 60 and she is still going.
That is amazing. Congratulations on her.
And you guys are just closed on Mondays, right? You're open 6 days a week. And what many people don't know about Monique is that even though she has been running this restaurant, she still has time to give to the community. She makes time 2 times a week to give to the homeless. Tell us a little bit about that, because you shed some light on me and you gave me some information that was really like out of sight, out of mind. So share with me what you've been doing since you've been there.
So since I've been here, I do donate my leftovers to them. My church also comes out as well, Throne Room Teaching Ministry in Lyle, Illinois. They come out as well. They come out every other week, and we do meals as well together as a church. But all of Moni's leftovers on Sunday goes directly to the homeless. Um, as I was telling Laura, I feel they're people as well too. Despite their situation, they deserve a good home cooked meal, not something out of a garbage can or molded or left over. You know, um, I just truly feel as though if they wanted a meal of that sort, they can go to the garbage can and get it themselves. They can go to the garbage can, but when I pack them up meals, I put it in a container, just like you and I receive, or what you receive
Aw.
when you order from Moni's. We put napkins and the forks and the little silverware as if they made the purchase. And it does. It truly does make my heart smile because when I come back, they give me comments as well too. Like, girl,
Aw.
I smothered chicken last week.
Aw.
Oh, you put your foot in that, and it's like, yeah. Can I get some more of that smothered chicken? But yeah, because a lot of people don't know their families too. You know, even though they don't have as much as we have, or some have nothing at all, but the items that you see them with when they're outside, they community together as a family too. So they travel in packs. So yeah, I just try my best to teach everybody, treat everybody as another human should be treated.
That's amazing. And you said there's roughly around 100 homeless
Yes.
people that are traveling together all around Elgin.
Elgin, yes. They may say it's 30 to 40, but it's not. Elgin does
Wow.
have a very high homeless community here.
Yes.
They're
And you're
downtown.
doing something very special for them on Thanksgiving as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, so on Thanksgiving, I wanted to give back to them just a full feast, Thanksgiving meal between 11 and 2 on Thanksgiving Day, and it'll be here at Moni's. Just for them to come in, be able to have a turkey dinner with all the fixings, a full dessert table, as well as clothes. I'm going to ask people for donation of clothes, things that they may not be wearing, and set it up like a little store on the other side and allow them to shop through whatever it is that they want to get or grab. We just let them take it, but we're not going to put a limit on it.
That's awesome. How would someone, if they wanted to help you with this project, how would they help with either the donations or the clothes, or physically, if they don't have anything to give, how can they physically help?
Absolutely. So I am working on something now where I can have a complete schedule because I do have a set team that's going to serve, but I am going to need a setup crew and a breakdown crew. So starting next week, the first week of November, I will have like a little sign up sheet at the front on the register for people to come and sign up. And it'll also be a donation list. So if they put down clothing, children's clothing, I'm going to have that list as well too. And then I'll just give them a designated date of when they can bring it and drop it off at the restaurant.
That's so amazing.
And for that, I don't know if we'll have the time. Man, you have no idea how busy I am sometimes. But we are going to try to get somebody to get down to a Goodwill and get you some clothes. But if we're not able to do that, Blasian Soul is donating $100 to your Thanksgiving Day charity event. So no matter whether or not that is us having the time to go actually get the clothes or us donating $100 to your cause, that's our way of saying thank you for helping the community.
Thank you. Thank you. I graciously appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Definitely.
Without a doubt. And we'll also put on our various platforms how they can donate. We will proactively throughout the time between now and Thanksgiving continue that message so that we can get as many people as possible to help out and try to turn your event to a big extravaganza.
Yes.
Thank you.
Definitely.
You have anything else for your bestie here?
Wow, my bestie. Yes. And you know how we met, right?
All I know is that I got good food. I about all
No, I went to pick up your food and we met off of a conversation. I had her cracking up because she's like, "You look familiar. Where have I seen you from?" I said, "Oh, probably my Jenny Jones video." And we just started cracking up.
that is so corny. Man, that's corny right there, man. That is so corny.
What she did? She's like, "Girl,
Man.
you see me on Jenny Jones."
I needed that laugh. It was, and then we just went from there and she shared her beautiful story with me and her beautiful daughter story and all
I understand that because I was out in the car waiting the first time. So me and my son sitting there like, well, man, what is going on? I don't understand what's going on.
No,
right now.
that first time was their grand opening and they were just super busy.
Yeah.
So that is why that took a long time. I didn't meet her till the 7th time. No.
Okay, let me say this. We ate the food on the way home. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So it was, let me taste that. Let me taste this. Then she driving, I think at that time, which she rarely does when we together. So she driving and she's sticking her hand over there. My son like, well, wait a minute. So I think the fish and half the chicken was gone before we got to the crib.
Wow.
So yeah, without a doubt, you gotta.
It's delicious. I love the greens. I like the spiciness. My daughter's asking for the recipe, even though she doesn't cook. I see her on the message right now.
We got a ton of.
She doesn't cook, but she is asking for the recipe.
We got a ton of with the way your food is. We have a ton of business ideas for you. I think like once a month, we just gonna throw one out to you. We gonna publish a cookbook. We gonna do some videos. We gonna get some catering trucks. We gonna like, with these people, please leave me alone. They just spending money and I don't understand. But no doubt.
Start a suggestion box just for you.
Yeah. It's a divine connection. That's for sure. We're gonna make some magical things happen. And when Monique shared with me her love and what she was doing for the homeless, I literally had tears balled up in my eyes because when she said that, it just hit a heartstring, because that was, I told her, I said, Elgin was my stomping ground. I was the people that were in need, walking up and down on public assistance, the poor child that were trying to find donations for clothing and things like that, so that area all up and down where her area is I lived right up the street in my little tiny, apartment with my family. When we first came here as refugees, that was our stomping ground. So I said, whatever I can do to help you give back to the Elgin community, I am all for it, because that's me giving back to what they've done for us and our family who used to be there in their stomping ground, so I couldn't have done it without the community. So now we want to give back.
Yeah.
All right, we know you at your place of business. We know you got to go make that money. So we would just like to say thank you for being our guest this week.
Yeah, so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like I said, we will promote and post and share all of your specifics, as well as some of the charitable events that you are having coming up. But if nothing else, we will let you go. You will be seeing us because, by this weekend, I will have a hankering for some more food.
Yes.
So we will see you. And thank you very much for your time, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
Bye, honey.
All right. That was pretty good. Once again, a role model doesn't have to be a celebrity or an athlete or someone that's in the limelight, but they can actually be someone in your local community, someone who has taken that leap to be a business owner, who at the same time contributes to the community and tries to help when they're able to do, is the very definition of a true role model. So we salute Moni. Please, if you're in the area, please go out, get some food. It's good. I told you, there's nothing that I tasted there that was not good. Anything you have to say about that, sweetie?
No, I think we pretty much hit all of the spots. With that being said, we also have, speaking on food, we also have next week, make sure that you guys come and support us on the show, Not Cooking with Nana. She's going to be sharing her battle with cancer. Want to give a shout out to my mama Sonia as well. She is my love, and she also beat cancer this month. And it's her birthday month. So Mama Sonia is my mama, and that raised me as a teenager. And that's my first taste of soul food, you guys. Growing up Asian, right? Growing up with all the Lao family, we only had Lao dishes, and we didn't eat out. We didn't go to the movies. We were poor. So my first taste of soul food was with my mama Sonia, and she also beat breast cancer. So we love you, Mama Sonia. And we want you guys to join us next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Same place, same time. We'll have Cooking with Nana here. My sister-in-law, actually, she's going to be on to share her journey of beating cancer not once, but twice. And also share with you a little bit about her YouTube, how she ended up with 64,000 subscribers and over 10.5 million views on her website, and sharing with you her what she did and how she beat cancer. And whatever questions you guys have, tune in live so you can ask her about any of the Lao dishes that she has on there. She's got hundreds of recipes on there. So
all right, check this out. We got a little bit of time. A few people, I mean, not a ton, but 4 or 5 people have asked, well, you guys don't talk a lot about yourselves, going to depth about that, because you guys have guests and you talk about current events. So I have to put a time limit on this, okay, because I know my wife, believe me. But
we did talk about ourselves.
No, it was like in the midst of
beginning.
Yeah, it was in the midst of guest speakers and all that stuff. But you have a hot 5 minutes, and to, I guess, give your truth. That's a better term.
My truth.
Tell, but give your truth or tell your story on how we met and got together.
Oh my
I won't
goodness.
do the same. What I will do is, off of her version, I will interject if I differ.
I see. All I know, I am the first Lao woman he's ever dated. So, oh my gosh, we've known each other since early 20s. I was a single mother with 2 kids, my daughters, Asia and Tia. Tia was only maybe maybe 1. Maybe she was around 18 months. Asia was about 2 or 3. And I was freshly coming out of a separation. And I was in a fashion show with Kanisha, who is his best friend Marlon's ex-wife. And so they were just dating at the time. They were in college. And we just finished a fashion show. And she's like, Laura, come out with me tonight. We're going to all be at the drink. I'm like, no, I don't want to go out. I'm, just coming out of a bad marriage. I'm not trying to meet anyone. Well, I think you'd be great with my boyfriend's husband. I think you guys would be so perfect together.
Okay. Boyfriend's best friend.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes. Her boyfriend's best friend. Right. And I said, no. I told her no. However, I ended up not having anything to do because the girls ended up going with their grandma. And so I called Kanisha and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to come out and meet with you. And I said, okay. So I went out and met with her. Before she even introduced us, he was already trying to talk to me.
Whoa.
So,
hey.
Okay, wait. Okay, that's my version. Let me tell my story. So before she was introduced us, he was at the bar. I was at the bar. And he came up to me from behind and he was like, "Can I buy you a drink?" I said, "Oh, sure. You don't turn down a drink, right?" So I said, "Okay, sure." At the time I was in my 20s, right? And so Kanisha walks up. I have my drink in my hand and, "Oh, I see you guys have already met. This is who I was going to connect you with." I'm like, "Oh, okay, really?" So we exchanged phone numbers. We went out to dinner a couple of times. We went out to dinner once. He cooked for me once, chicken parmesan. I remember he lived in a garden level. So we had chicken parmesan, and I was supposed to go to his basketball tournament, and I was late. So he was super mad at me for being late.
Championship game. I'm sorry.
Oh, the championship game.
Right,
and I got there late. I was at a church event. So here I am, right? See, at the time I had the girls, one car seat in hand, one in the holding Asia's hand with Tia in the car seat, coming up to someone I just met, to this guy's basketball game tournament, whatever it is. And I was late. I'm always late, right? So I get to the door. He opens it up. And he was just like, "The game is over." And he shuts the door.
No.
And I was sitting here with my kids. And then,
God, no.
I talked to him a little bit after that. And I was already going to Chicago. I was on my way riding. I think I was riding with my cousin La. I was in the back seat. The air was going. And, we were talking. And I said, "I'm moving to Chicago, back to, Chicago." And he was like, "Oh, da, 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 da." And he was like, "Well, I just wanted you to know that I'm back talking to my girl, Kelly." And
first of all, let's refrain from using names.
Okay. I'm back with my ex-girlfriend and just wonder, whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. So we stopped talking. I didn't see him again till 6 years later, right? It was about 6 years later.
That is true.
We same spot, we ran back into each other. And I was living in Chicago. I happened to be out in Michigan at the same spot. And that's when I saw him again. And I had no idea it was him, the same person, but we met twice at the same spot. So it must have been fate, right? So we ended up back together after that. What's your version?
All right. She's
my long-winded version.
She's leaving out some key points, and she has revised other points. I gotta have a good memory though, but let me just.
You can't even remember what you did yesterday.
No, let me hit the ones I do remember. Okay. I tried to talk to you before Kanisha came up.
Yeah.
I had casual conversation with you.
Yeah, you asked me if I wanted a drink.
I went up to the bar and ordered my drink. She was right there next to me.
That was 20 years ago. You don't remember.
We spoke, and as I'm getting my drink, she doesn't have a drink in front of her. So as being a gentleman, you have to ask, "Well, would you like a drink?" That ain't trying to push.
No, I just said you asked me if I wanted a
that's just
drink.
being a gentleman. As far as the basketball,
it's okay,
babe. I had hurt my leg, so I'm hopping around on one leg. Game over. We lost. I'm not happy, but it's not. I'm not happy because she was late. I'm happy because we made it all the way to the championship and got ran. So it was at Paul I. Phillips in Grand Rapids. So I seen her at the door. You see the little small window there. So I seen her at the door, but the door's locked. They lock them after a certain time when the game started. So I hopped over there to open the door for her. But I had to hop back because I didn't want to put no pressure on the leg. So I'm hopping around the gym. So I had opened the door for her and I said, "No, it's over. We lost." And I pushed it open for her. So she can grab the door and come on in because I'm hopping. So I ain't closed the door on nobody. And then she seen ice all around my leg or whatnot. So that is what I remember. And then the second time we met, she cut this short because I always give a brief about this. But she walked past me because she didn't know who I was. I didn't know who she was. She walked past me to go to the bathroom with her and a girl. And I guess she was eyeing me because the cat I was with said, "Hey." And he said that the black and Asian chick is what he said. Said the black and Asian chick was eyeing you up when she walked past. And I laughed because guys always make them type of jokes. Hey, she was looking at you and stuff like that. So when they came back out, she stopped right in front of me. Of course, I'm going to speak to her. She's an attractive woman. She stopped right in front of me. So that's how we re-engaged. The reason why, and the reason why I'm saying this is so I can get brownie points from y'all. That night, she was going back to Chicago. She said she was tired. Oh, wait, you know what? I forgot something.
You were such a gentleman.
No.
You talked to me for 3 hours.
We have to rewind back. When she was leaving, she said, hey, walk me to my car. I said, bet. And then she took off like 4 steps ahead of me. And I'm like, well, that's weird. Her girl comes up and grabs my arm. And she started walking with me. I said, what's going on? She said, she wants you to walk her out to the car, but the bouncer she used to talk to. And she don't want him to, see us or whatever the case may be. So my man trying to get her attention, she taking off. The other girl walking me out the door so that I can then walk her to her car. Mm-hmm. She said she was tired. She said she had a long drive. So I gave her a call that night, and I talked her all the way to Chicago. During that conversation is when she kept saying her name was Laura. And I'm like, man, there ain't too many Asian women named Laura around here. I used to talk to a young lady named Laura. We went back and forth, and that's when we found out that we had met previously. So those are the differences I have. I had to put in the point about me who talked to somebody for 3 hours after the call.
You. That was awesome.
That's real. That's real. But I think we'll give a little light on our relationship and, the cultures that we both embrace and how that affects our family and who's in our family. So I thought that we would add that segment when we have time, so that you guys not only hear about the guests, not only see what we're doing with the podcast, but get to know the actual host of the podcast as well. Interaction is key.
So I have a question.
For you?
Yes.
All right.
You always throw a curveball to our guests that are on our show. I just want to know, what are your thoughts, or what do you ever have any sort of thoughts or things that run through your mind when you're around my crazy cousins and family? Because we can get a little bit goofy and silly, but when you're in the party, you're the only Black guy filled with all the loud people, all the different cultural events and things that you've attended. You're fascinated, or you're like, wow, what is this? It's a whole new world. Like, what goes through your mind?
Cultures, especially older cultures, are interesting. From, you asking me why I'm sitting up watching the History Channel for 3-4 hours. So, different things interest me. But, number one, everybody from now until when we first started dating, everybody make sure that I'm taken care of. I mean, it's almost like the grandmas in the Black culture that always coming around, you hungry, you ain't eating enough, come taste this. So they are always gracious. They always make me, even when I wasn't a part of the family, they kind of make you feel like you're a part of the family. That reminds me of the Black culture. Once you come to Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner, you know what I'm saying, you're part of the family. Come get this plate. Make sure you eat enough, those type of things. So that was similar to me. That's something that I recognized. As far as like the guys in the family, you have guys my age that, come on, let me make you a drink. Let's sit up and watch some TV. Let's talk about the game. Let's talk about politics. Guys like Brian and Uno and those guys. But then you have the younger guys as well that's, in their early 30s who, I talk to about hip hop, and they call me old school. And, we sit up and we probably drink more than we should. So it's that dynamic as well. So they look at me like, from my background, you've been through it, so let's talk about it. As opposed to guys that are my age, we're talking about stuff that our life revolves around now, which is, the kids and sports with the kids and, professional sports and cracking jokes about, situations we have with the wives. So in that regard, there's no difference. I guess the only differences that I can really see from, you know, having a good time with my family as opposed to having a good time with your family is the difference in food, number one. And then two, every once in a while, the old school will talk in their native language. So you'll get some conversations going on that I have totally no idea.
You should have learned. You should have known some words by now, right?
If I learn Swahili, then after that I'll learn. But it's that thought process that, you know, ain't nothing really changed. Family is family. But I think you go through the same things, just not to as great of an extent. When we used to go out to Detroit and Haven with my family, there were black and white in that family, but you were the only Asian person. When we go to Atlanta and check out my family, it ain't nothing but black people there. So in that same regard, I don't think it's different. I just think that you've been around growing up with more black people than I have with Asian people. I mean, I've only dated Asian and Latino women. So
you mean black and Latino?
I mean, yeah, black and Latino. So that's probably the only difference is that you're probably more accustomed and comfortable initially because you've been around that culture. But I think I've been integrated in your culture as far as I've been a monk.
Yes, that was awesome.
I've been through certain ceremonies with you guys when your parents have asked me to be in it or when you asked me to be in it. So to a certain extent, I have delved farther than the average person in your culture.
Awesome.
All right. So we gave you a great guest. We gave you some tidbits. We talked a little bit about our background, where, you know, kind of how we got started and what actually occurred as opposed to what some people think has occurred. And also, as always, we want to we want to finish how we started. Please get out and vote, no matter who you vote for. Make your voice heard. No matter how little you think that voice is being heard, it's still better than nothing. So please get out there and vote. Please be aware of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Do what you can.
Get checked.
Yeah, help those in need. If you don't know no one in need, at least be sympathetic and empathetic to the plight. And women, please go get checked out.
Yes.
All right. You guys be good. This is Marcella Robertson, my lovely wife.
Nippapon.
Thank you. Jeez. Because Lord.
Sanavonse Robertson.
No, it is not. It is not Sanavonse
well, you
Robertson.
know, some of my Sanavonse family knows
Sanavonse
Robertson.
But everybody have a great night. Have a great week. We'll see you next week. We have a special guest next week as well. Yes. So deuces.
Peace. Sabaidi. Lock on.